following broadcast is a companion podcast for Blessed Living Women's e-magazine and is brought to you by The Bonding Place. Our podcasts are available directly from our website through Blog Talk Radio, YouTube, and iTunes. In this episode, your hostess Jill Bond is introducing our latest issue, Spring 2014, God of Order. Check out the free e-magazine at blwemag.com.
Hello and welcome back. I'm really excited about our latest issue. It's now online and available at our website, through WordPress, but the easiest way is at blwemag.com. And I just wanted to welcome you to our Spring 2014 issue, God of Order. God is a God of order. His timing is perfect. His designs are unfathomable. He invented order. He mandates that even his worship be done in an orderly fashion with some strong remonstrations against disorderly worship. As Nadab and Abihu are Uzzah. Paul wrote about an orderly worship service in 1 Corinthians 14. With God clearly on the side of order, we knew as we approached this issue that we were doctrinally sound, but I'm still impressed by all the different writers and how they applied the theme to their columns. Each lady brings her own perspective, and we profit from where they are in their walk. We find it pays to be organized to some extent without going overboard and becoming controlling. Penny's 2 cents worth helps us find that balance. B. Abigail reminds us of a proper order to our life events and Mind Your Marriage. Dreama adds a clever spin to following the right direction, and Anne-Marie even gives a refreshing review of a time travel movie. Trish offers a solid basis to the idea of God and order. Even our creativity column, this issue, touches on the need to be systematic in our crafts. Without the right gauge, our project would fit an Olympic wrestler instead of our petite granddaughter. Lisa, our grace-filled gardener, teaches us how to plant and grow a beautiful tree, tropical of course, the screw pine. Our sister in focus, Miriam Wheeler's life, is a testimony of her appreciating God's order and applying it to her life. Every week she prepares a huge buffet for our Saturday morning prayer breakfast, and she has it down to a fine science. She and Russ shop on a given day, and she has each step of the food preparation scheduled so it doesn't ever overstress them, and yet we are always served delicious, hot food. One week, Rush was rushed to the hospital, and several of us offered to handle the breakfast, but she said it was all already done. I think you'll find this snapshot of her life quite inspiring. We are blessed with 3 guest writers in this issue. Kay Spitzbarth, My Witnessing Story, tells of her trip to Haiti. Bonnie Edson, her master's business is a professional organizer, and so I think you'll really enjoy what she has to offer. And Diane Smith, order isn't always the first order, really adds humor to the magazine. We have added writing guidelines and releases to the website for those of you who feel you have an article to submit. We are always looking for witnessing stories, females in business articles, and inspirational feature testimonies. Some of our other articles that we're pleased with this time is Pennies from Heaven. In the last issue, she started explaining to us how she views prayer and the way she teaches about it using acrostic Prayer. In this issue, she gets into the A, which she uses for acknowledges and admits. And Trish, with her Doulos Rumen, continues on with her Bible study of 3:16s. And of course, one of my favorites in the article. And it's not just for those who aren't sure about where they're going to spend eternity, but if you're ever interested in witnessing and want to expand the way in which you witness to people, I highly recommend you read Trish's Travel Tips for Eternity. And Bitsy's back with Techie Granny, explaining some ways to organize your digital online life. In Homemade for Health, I give you some ideas on how to organize your laundry. Not going overboard with how to originally do it, because I figure you know that, but maybe some tips you don't know, and how to concoct and make your own laundry detergent and softeners. In Bon Appetit, I share with you how I go about planning menus, because I know that can be a bear, but if you've got them pre-planned and worked out, it can save you so much time. And recipes for making better butter, red velveteen pancakes, and my Aunt Eloise's casserole, which is always a crowd pleaser. In Out of the Box and Color Coding Cues, Anne Marie and I team up to give you some practical organizing ideas. And some of them aren't that common. It's ways to use ordinary items in new and different ways. And I love how Anne Marie uses color coding to organize all her kids' stuff. Then one of my favorites, that sounds like a mom trying to choose which child is her favorite. I think they all are. But B. Abigail comes up with one on Help, I'm Stuck. And I think many of us will identify as she gives a testimony of her battle with organizing. So I hope you really enjoy Issue 2, God of Order, giving us some spiritual encouragement to get our priorities in order, and a few practical tips to organizing our lives. And of course, the biggest news that we had since our last issue is this podcast. And in case you wanted to subscribe so you don't miss any, you can subscribe through iTunes. You can go to Blog Talk Radio, how we broadcast it live. And we're praying about adding a feature where you can call in and ask questions. So let us know if you think you'd be interested in that. And speaking of the website, we've added about a dozen new pages, and I've got more on the agenda that I'm hoping to upload. But for now, I just wanted to tell you that our prayer is that in this issue, Issue 2, it will encourage you to view being organized in a whole new light, being more like your maker and less like the world's idea of perfection. I know. Having been the guest in many homes across America, went on mission trips. The places we loved were not the world's idea of best organized, stately, or cleanest, but were the ones filled with God's presence and joy. And I hope you enjoy issue number 2, available now at blwemag.com. Have a blessed day.
This has been the Blessed Living Women's E-Magazine podcast. Go to blwemag.com to learn more about our upcoming issues and podcast. This broadcast has been brought to you by The Bonding Place. Special thanks to Jill Bond, our publisher, and me, Bethany K. Bond. Aw, thanks, guys.